Welcome to time-tested advice, where the toughest spirits are shaped by trials, resilient, unwavering, and truly themselves. Let's face it, being a Sigma female is not easy. You're not everyone's favorite, and that's precisely where your strength lies. While the world expects women to conform, be gentle and agreeable. You boldly choose a different path. You follow your own rules, and this baffles people. Why? Because you show that a woman can be powerful without needing anyone's approval. Here's the reality. When you reject being dominated, when you defy expected norms, people won't praise you. They might even dislike you. Society doesn't scorn Sigma females because they are weak or aimless. It scorns them because they are invincible. They question the deceits, the pretenses, and the superficial standards we've all been spoon-fed. This video isn't here to downplay the truth or make your journey seem less challenging. It's here to remind you why you're disliked and why that's actually a mark of distinction. It's here to honor the parts of you that others shy away from, your self-reliance, your truthfulness, and your refusal to compromise. So, if you've ever felt misunderstood, criticized, or judged just for being yourself, watch this. Not to blend in, but to understand why you'll always stand out. Because society doesn't detest Sigma females for who they are. It detests them for the truths they expose. Time to get started. Number 1. They don't put men on a pedestal or try to outdo other women. Sigma females lead lives that defy what society expects of them. They don't try to win men's approval, nor do they compare themselves to other women as rivals. They dismiss the outdated belief that a woman's value depends on being favored, complimented, or ranked higher than others. Society often tells women to be appealing to men and to vie for their attention while competing with each other. Sigma females not only reject this notion, they completely disregard it, which frightens many. When a woman does not worship men, it challenges a major societal belief that women need men to feel worthy. Sigma females do not seek admiration, selection, or love to understand their worth. They walk with a self-confidence that's exceptional and solid, and this assurance feels like a challenge in a world that instructs women to wait to be deemed valuable by someone else. Moreover, they don't undermine other women to ascend themselves. They don't aim to surpass others by being more attractive or more likable. For Sigma females, competing is futile. She's really focused on bettering herself, creating a great life, and chasing her own dreams. This independence often surprises people because it shows that competition isn't really needed. It highlights how silly and superficial it is when society tries to make women compete against each other. Sigma females won't belittle themselves for men or vie for other women's approval. Their calm and untouchable demeanor breaks the usual rules everyone else follows. When you can't label or control someone, it can make you nervous. That's why society is puzzled by Sigma females. They simply can't be put into a neat category. Number 2. They reveal underlying conflicts of power without speaking. A Sigma female doesn't need to talk to change the atmosphere of a room. Just by being there, she reveals hidden power battles, insecurities, and tricks people play. Why? Because she's not trying to impress anyone. She doesn't seek approval, doesn't get involved in social tricks, and doesn't give in to others' pride. Her calm, uninvolved manner works like a mirror, showing people what they are actually like. And the truth is, most people aren't ready to see themselves so clearly. In a world where everyone wants to be in charge or shape the story, a Sigma female's choice to not play along makes others feel vulnerable. Those who manipulate find that their methods don't affect her. People who seek attention quiet down around her because they realize she's not swayed by them. Those who are insecure feel uncomfortable because her straightforward nature shows how much they depend on acting a certain way. She doesn't actively strip anyone's facade. She just lives as her true, steady self. This is what bothers people most about Sigma females. They bring out truths that many prefer to hide, like fake confidence, hidden agendas, and a deep need for approval. Many think women are easy to persuade, emotionally influenced, or keen to conform, but a Sigma female turns this idea on its head effortlessly. Her quietness speaks volumes, and her calmness brings a deep impact that many cannot equal. This is her strength: clear, silent, and unreachable. It's not showy, bold, or noisy. It just exists, and this makes those who rely on false appearances uncomfortable. A Sigma female doesn't need to point out anyone's shortcomings. She lets them show themselves, and when people are seen in ways they didn't expect, they react with fear, bitterness, and sometimes anger. Number 3. They are exceptionally truthful in a society that often embraces falsehoods. Sigma females are people who speak the truth, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. In a world where everyone cares too much about how they look and pretending to be happy, their straightforward honesty feels like a sharp wake-up call. They refuse to follow society's rules of just being polite on the surface, and this makes others quite uncomfortable. Why? Because it makes them confront the untruths they are hiding behind. Most people would rather live comfortably with their false fronts, pretending to be happier, more successful, or more liked than they really are. They avoid real truths to dodge discomfort, opting for superficial peace instead of genuine relationships. But a Sigma female won't deal in pretense. She says what others are only thinking but are too scared to say. She points out dishonesty when she notices it, whether it's in someone's words, actions, or motives. Her honesty isn't meant to be mean, but it's straightforward, unapologetic, and often uncomfortable. This kind of directness makes people defensive. It reveals the games they're playing, the lies they tell themselves, and the masks they wear to be liked. Instead of valuing the honesty of Sigma females, people often criticize them as excessive or offensive because they're uncomfortable with the truth. In reality, Sigma females aren't disliked for being incorrect, but because they speak the truth. They don't soften their words to make people feel better. They believe that true honesty, even if it hurts, is the best way to grow. Society usually relies on pretenses, and when someone doesn't follow these unspoken rules, it highlights the dishonesty that keeps everything running. It's simpler to dislike someone who tells the truth than to confront the truth they reveal. Number 4, they choose depth and meaning over just looking good. Sigma females reject the shallow norms set by society, where a woman's worth is often judged by her looks or how much others can tolerate her. While society praises women who are beautiful, silent, and easygoing, Sigma females are uninterested. They value real qualities like intelligence, purpose, and deep connections more than just looking perfect, and this shakes up the usual expectations. Their defiance causes unease, not because they shun femininity, but because they won't let their appearance dictate who they are. They don't spend their energy on following the latest fads, seeking approval, or meeting pointless standards that don't contribute to their true selves. For those accustomed to women who conform easily, a Sigma female appears as a revolution. She isn't interested in fitting into the role carved out for her by society. She is focused on living her own unique story. What's even more daunting is that her confidence is self-derived, not dependent on others' praise. Sigma females don't depend on flattery or attention to validate their worth, which diminishes the influence society has on them. They challenge the notion that a woman's value should be based on her looks or her ability to stay quiet and pleasant. When they act this way, they highlight just how empty these norms truly are. For individuals whose values are superficial, a Sigma female poses a real challenge. She brings depth, smarts, and a strong sense of mission that superficial attractiveness can't match. This angers those who expect women to be subdued and silent, because it demonstrates that true depth and meaning will always eclipse mere looks. And when someone shakes up society's norms this boldly, it's almost certain that resentment will follow. Number 5. They confidently decline things without feeling the need to explain. Sigma females have mastered the skill of saying no with total clarity. Unlike other women who often feel the need to justify or soften their refusals, Sigma females are straightforward and unapologetic about setting their limits. It's unusual for society to see women who are bold in their choices, unbothered by any discomfort their boundaries might bring. A woman who doesn't yield or change shakes up traditional cultural expectations. When she says no firmly, it challenges the idea that women should always be accommodating, gentle, and overly willing to please. This disrupts the belief that a woman's value depends on her readiness to meet others' needs or to sacrifice herself. A Sigma female's refusal to conform makes people rethink their expectations and the way they believe women should act. For many, such a confident refusal seems threatening because it takes away the control they used to have. People expect women to handle situations gently, often leading to compromise or being manipulated. When a Sigma female holds firm, without room for guilt or persuasion, it feels unsettling. They refuse to play the games that involve pleasing others at their own cost. This bold confidence isn't about being mean or aggressive. It's about establishing firm, unshakable limits. Sigma females know that their tranquility, time, and health are non-negotiable. And by not letting others cross these lines, they make everyone respect the space they've set. For those who usually ignore limits or twist situations to their benefit, the strong refusal from a Sigma female serves as a strong signal that not everything can be manipulated, even if it feels uncomfortable. We deeply value every single one of you as a cherished part of our community. Your unwavering support inspires us and drives our commitment to creating impactful content. Thank you for your involvement and uplifting encouragement. Number 6. They shatter the myth that a woman needs to be loved to hold power. For a long time, society has made women think that their strength depends on how much others like them. This belief is fueled by everything from social media likes to compliments. Women are often told their value comes from how much they are liked and praised. However, Sigma females break this misconception. They show that you can be admired, powerful, and content without constantly seeking everyone's approval. The idea that being liked is a measure of success is misleading. It traps women in a cycle of trying to please everyone, conforming to others' expectations, and losing their true selves. Sigma females reject this way of thinking. They know their true strength lies in their self-confidence, independence, and solid assurance in themselves. Their power is internal, not based on others' approval. Breaking away from this mistaken belief is a bold move. It questions the old idea that women need to be loved by everyone to have value. Sigma females demonstrate that genuine respect comes from being real, resilient, and staying true to oneself, no matter how others view them. The shake-up of normal ways troubles those who gain from women needing others' approval. They worry about losing power over women's image because without the need for constant praise, women become powerful beyond measure. Sigma females show us that real strength doesn't rely on society's changing opinions. It comes from knowing oneself and having the bravery to be true to oneself, even if it means being by yourself. Number 7. They avoid giving too many details about why they make certain choices. Sigma females have a quiet but strong confidence that helps them make decisions without having to explain too much. In a world where being open is often used to take control, their choice not to give too many details or reasons irritates those who use manipulation to influence decisions. Many people find power in understanding someone's thoughts to use them unfairly. They change stories, twist how things are seen, and insist on explanations to make others doubt and stay in control. But Sigma females don't get involved in this game. They make decisions confidently, without feeling the need to justify themselves. This quiet strength makes those who like to control others through emotional tricks or endless questions uncomfortable. Without reasons to pick apart, they lack tools to manipulate, no weaknesses to target, no words to twist. Sigma females are sure about their choices, and this certainty disrupts those who depend on creating confusion and exploiting weaknesses. Additionally, Sigma females understand that not every decision needs to be validated. Some choices are best made alone, where explanations only take away from the clarity and purpose. By keeping their silence, they keep their power, making sure their goals are clear and unquestionable. In a society that values control through openness, Sigma females stand out because their power comes not from justifying themselves, but from refusing to be manipulated. Number 8. They cut through old patterns passed down through families. Sigma females take on the challenge of breaking old family patterns. They reject toxic relationships, old-fashioned customs, or cultural norms that don't benefit them anymore. Their decision to step away from these long-standing burdens often causes tension, as it disrupts the usual pattern of compliance and emotional entanglement. In many families or cultures, roles like sacrificing, obeying, or submitting are handed down from generation to generation. Sigma females recognize these roles for what they truly are: outdated stories that keep women in roles of servitude or emotional labor. They decide not to shoulder the burdens of their forebears, opting instead to forge their own paths marked by true self-expression and personal growth. This departure from the norm can be unsettling for those who prefer the comfort of the known. They expect obedience, loyalty, and the continuation of old family roles, seeing any change as a betrayal of family values. However, Sigma females dismiss this idea, realizing that growth often requires big changes. By choosing their own ways, they challenge the usual expectations and push their families to face difficult truths about their heritage and responsibilities. Additionally, escaping these restrictions isn't easy and usually leads to negative reactions like criticism, loneliness, or disapproval from those who want things to stay the same. However, Sigma females know that their independence is worth these challenges. They confidently leave behind harmful situations, choosing not to bear burdens that don't benefit them anymore. By choosing not to follow the crowd, they're not just changing their own lives, but they're also paving the way for future generations. Number 9. They follow their own set of ethical rules. Sigma females follow their own set of moral rules, not shaped by what everyone else thinks, but by their personal beliefs and values. They don't just follow the usual strict rules. Instead, They build their own ethical guidelines based on being true to themselves and knowing who they are. Because they choose not to just blend in, they often face conflicts as they won't bend their morals just to be liked or accepted. In a society where fitting in is often expected, Sigma females stand out. They challenge common ways of thinking, whether it's by ignoring shallow opinions, questioning those in charge, or fighting against unfairness. They look deeper, realizing that being moral means living true to themselves, not just fitting into a predefined box. This way of defining what's right can make others uncomfortable, especially those who depend on everyone acting the same to keep things under control. Traditional systems want people to follow the rules, but Sigma females don't follow these restrictions because they limit their independence. They question what is usually accepted and stretch the limits, which makes others examine their own prejudices and limited perspectives. Disagreements often happen because their ideas of what is right and wrong don't neatly fit into what society expects. They confront unfair rules, reveal dishonesty, and insist on responsibility. When they act, they face opposition. Some people are intimidated by a woman who chooses not to conform, but it is in these challenges that Sigma females discover their power. Their clear sense of right and wrong guides them, showing ways that might scare others. They know that being true to their principles takes bravery, but it's a journey worth taking because real strength comes from living a life that is genuinely yours, even when it goes against the grain. Number 10. They reveal unseen falsehoods and double standards. Sigma females have a unique talent for seeing past the fake fronts people put up, exposing the lies and double standards that many use to uphold their made-up worlds. They have a sharp eye that cuts through any deception effortlessly. Their knack for revealing the truth bothers those who have built their lives on make-believe, finding comfort in the stories they tell themselves to avoid facing reality. For people who prefer to live in denial, Sigma females pose a real challenge. They won't go along with superficial truths or pretend to have integrity. Instead, they point out what's wrong, even if it makes others uncomfortable. This type of honesty shakes up the delicate balance many people depend on to feel stable. Lies flourish where there are unclear truths, but Sigma females don't let these survive around them. Their determination to not overlook lies or ignore the truth reveals hard realities, whether it's personal deceit, societal contradictions, or dishonesty in relationships and institutions. Sigma females bravely illuminate the hidden areas of deceit. Their strong commitment to the truth unsettles those who gain from living in illusions, making them extremely uneasy. In a society that often prioritizes keeping peace over achieving fairness, the straightforwardness of Sigma females compels people to face truths they'd rather not see. They don't want to sacrifice their truth just to keep things calm. They choose to be clear and responsible, even if it means they have to stand by themselves. By doing this, they oppose dishonesty, openly revealing the untruths that others often overlook. Number 11. They prioritize personal growth over societal approval. Sigma females focus intensely on their own development and self-improvement, rather than seeking applause or recognition from others. In a world where many chase after fame and validation, Sigma females choose to enrich their minds, expand their skills, and deepen their understanding of themselves and the world around them. This pursuit of personal growth can be puzzling to those who measure success by external accolades. Sigma females know that true strength comes from within, and by dedicating themselves to personal growth, they become more resilient and self-reliant. Their commitment to self-betterment not only sets them apart, but also serves as an inspiring example that real fulfillment is self-generated, not handed out by others. Number 12. They embrace solitude as a source of power. Unlike many who feel the need to constantly surround themselves with people to avoid feeling alone, Sigma females find strength in solitude. They understand that spending time alone is not a sign of weakness, but a moment to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with their core values. This comfort with being alone often baffles those who fear solitude, as it challenges the common belief that social acceptance and constant connectivity are necessary for happiness. Sigma females use their alone time as a powerful tool to foster creativity, plan their next moves, and maintain their mental and emotional health. Their ability to thrive in solitude not only empowers them, but also highlights the unnecessary fear and dependency society often places on being perpetually connected. Sigma females are not meant to be easily figured out or controlled. They challenge the usual ways of doing things, reject the usual social expectations, and escape from the restrictions that try to define them. While society may pressure them to conform to typical roles, they choose to be true to themselves, independent and purposeful. Being a Sigma female involves accepting the unease that comes with challenging the false sense of control and power. It means standing strong in a world that tries to confine you, influence your decisions, and restrict your freedom. However, it also means living a life that is true to your beliefs, despite any negative feedback or opposition. You are not here to be liked by everyone, to please everyone, or to give up on your truth. Your strength comes from navigating the world with clear vision and confidence. You don't need others' approval to feel complete. You are enough just as you are. So, as you keep moving through a world that might not always understand or accept you, remember that your path is uniquely yours. Welcome those tough moments, the ones where people might dislike you for not meeting their expectations, because these moments are signs of your growth and genuineness. Be genuine, hold on to what you believe in, and never say sorry for being you. The world might push back, but remember, no one can tame or change you. Continue on your journey, and with every step you take, you're creating room for others to follow their own paths too. Thanks everyone for watching. Catch you in the next video. Bye, stay blessed, and as always, until next time.